How do fetishism and tokenism affect how people of color join poly communities? I'm here with Kevin A. Patterson from polyrolemodels.tumblr.com, and I'm Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com. Kevin, thanks so much for talking about this. I know that this is part of your amazing book that's going to be coming out in April, Love is Not Colorblind, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be such a great book.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, fetishization is a really weird animal, in that if I want to make sure I say this properly, but like me being a black man, sometimes people feel like being black is what I have to offer a situation. You know, like I'm very well versed in geek shit. I'm very well versed in sports. I'm a runner. I've got a master's in education. There's a lot of things that I can go into. Like there's a lot of, skill sets and things that I can offer. Like, I'm a human being. I am a well-rounded human being. But sometimes you walk into a situation when people don't see that you are a well-rounded human being. They'll see you are black. This is what you have to offer this situation. Blackness. And don't get me wrong, I come fully packed with quite a bit of blackness. But, there's more going on than just that. That's not the way I want to be approached as part of a conversation. And so if I'm at a meetup, I've got to be really aware of the way people are speaking to me. Are we talking about the newest video game? Are we talking about what's going on in politics? Are we talking about the weather? Or like, am I being approached because someone wants a stamp on their ethnicity passport? Somebody wants to fuck a black guy. That's something they've never done before, I'm interested in tasting some chocolate or some bullshit like that, BBC, big black cock.
Yeah.
Is that the way that this situation is being approached? And I've got to be really leery of how I'm approaching these conversations almost all the time. Like I have to be constantly aware that somebody's not trying to push some racial racist stereotype in my direction as part of some fantasy package that I didn't sign up for.
Yeah. I know it's not the same thing, but I had someone come up to me who really liked big women, and I think I got a little bit of a taste of that because he was like, "You're amazing," and it was not about me. He didn't know who I was. It was just that I was big, and he thought that it was just objectification on one aspect of me, and it did not feel good. So yeah, that would not be something I'd want to walk into.
There was a point where I was dating a woman, also big, also fat, and like when we first started dating, very soon into it, she said like, "So, like, why are you into fat girls?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not into fat girls. I'm into women, just in general. Like, there's a lot to love about a wide variety of women, and I'm all for it. And I didn't realize it at the time, but if I had said like I'm into fat girls because of blah blah blah, that would have X'd me out of the conversation. We would have stopped dating at that point.
Yeah.
That was her fetishization test right there, and I unknowingly passed.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, no, that's what. Thank you for sharing about that. What about tokenism? Is that feel like it's different from fetishism, or?
I mean, it's all based on the same thing.
Yeah.
This marginalization based on like one single, unchanged, uncontrollable aspect of your life, and like I said when we spoke before about class, how if you're at a poly cocktails, all you're really trying to do is sit and drink and socialize. You're not really trying to think about barriers for entry.
Right.
And people aren't trying to think about, like, organizers aren't always trying to think about their particular demographics. Polyamory is small, so if you get 20, 30, 40 people to an event,
you're excited.
Yeah, exactly. You're not really thinking about what the makeup of those demographics are. And it's really easy to see a black person or two or three out of those 40 people, see two or three people of color and think, okay, well, we have people of color here.
And check that box.
Yeah. And no one wants that. No one wants to be that token person of color, that perfunctory show of inclusivity that allows people to not make any real changes to what their groups look like, to what their events look like.
Yeah.
And like I'm in the Philadelphia area. Philadelphia is about 43 to 45% white and about 43 to 45% black.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a more even makeup at any event.
You would hope. Yeah.
And if I'm the only person of color at an event, I'm not going to let myself be tokenized because I'm not going to let it slide.
Yeah.
I'm always going to talk about it. Like my mouth is never going to close about how, if I go to like, this is happy hour and there's 30, 40 people and I'm the person of color, I'm going to say that. That's something that I'm going to post about on my blog. That's something I'm going to post about on Facebook.
Yeah.
And somebody's face is going to get read about it.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have to do something about it or kick me out of the group. And either way, I'm not going to be quiet about that either.
Yeah. No, thank you for, like, I think speaking up like that it's sometimes very awkward. It can sometimes take a lot of courage, but if nothing's going to change if we just keep going along the way we've been going.
Yeah. And really, people just need to stop being defensive about it as well. Like, again, if you get a substantial population to your event, you're not an evil person if the demographics are all white.
No, but there's probably things you could do to help welcome people in that haven't been.
Exactly. And you don't need to get defensive when someone raises the issue. Try to figure out how to solve the issue. Like, make it a task. Make your situation better. Like, our groups are better. They're stronger. They're more diverse. You get a better diversity of thought. You get a better range of ideas.
Absolutely.
When you have more people more people from various backgrounds in a room together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of it's. Go ahead. Yeah, it does. It helps everybody, and I think if we can just see past like how big someone is, what color someone's skin is, treat them like humans, but also be aware of the challenges different groups might be facing and try to mitigate that as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking about this. This means a lot. I haven't seen other examples of this, and I really appreciate it. You're making a big difference.
I mean, we're out there. There's not a lot of us, but like that's part of why I love what I do. Because when I say that we're out there, I always post other people's stuff on my blog. I always use my platform to extend as many voices as I can.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you. This is great. If you have comments or questions, please leave them below. We'd love to see them. Thanks, Kevin.
Hey, no problem.